There was hope. India was making a trip to Australia again on the back of their maiden Test series win in 2018 2019 under Virat Kohli. There was hope, but can they do it again? This time, Australia has the presence back of David Warner and Steve Smith, two of the strongest weapons in the batting order. And we start in Adelaide Oval, the day-night test, India's second ever day-night test, first ever outside home. And then there was a bit of a news that Kohli is going to play this test match only in the whole trips. So for now, we can say there was pressure on him to do well and make sure India will go 1-0 up before they going to the second test in Melbourne. India won the toss. They decided to bat first. You will say twice season, can India bowl for just one bit of a under the sun? Can they just look to have a bit of a bowl? But no, they were changing up under Virat Kohli. They are a different Indian side in the test format. They decided to go with bat first. Now there's interesting point in the playing 11. There was no Pant, there was Riddhiman Saha. Having when India played the last test series in Australia, in Sydney, in 2018-2019, it was Rishabh Pant who scored that magnificent century, 159 he made. But still, you drop him. You went with Ravichandran Ashwin in the bowling lineup because your premier spinner outside India, Ravindra Jadeja, is injured. So much cloud over Indian selection. And they went with this new team. And they started off. And they find themselves with a very difficult start. Prithvi Shaw, second ball gone. Mitchell Stark did something which was surprising to everyone. Not to Ricky Ponting. He knew it before the ball was even bowled. And then at the point of time, I'm seeing my scorecard, 3 for 188, toilet station. Virat Kohli and Ajinkya Rahane is batting. We'll move to Ritik for the first show. At 3 for 188, you will expect India to go past 350 at least. But then they lost 7 for 56 and got bundled up for 244 runs in the first inning. Why do you think went wrong? Is it the run out of Virat? Is it something miscommunication happened? Or you think the team was shocked by the run out? Why do you feel? Ritik, up to you.
Yes, so we joined play there, and so yeah, 3 down India, and then suddenly that run out that that sort of I think changed the momentum entirely, and there was who knows what happened, but there was certainly some sort of miscommunication that happened, and Virat Kohli got out for 74. He was the main batsman in that innings, and all of a sudden the entire momentum seems to be shifting, and then the last 3 wickets. Who knew that the last 3 wickets were gonna fall for so few runs? And there are multiple reasons, as you cited, that I think the main reason being the lack of batting depth, I would say. So with the likes of Ravindra Jadeja not playing, someone like Shardul Thakur, who we know is so valuable, especially in the lower order, he not being there to score those vital runs. And that sort of eventually led to so very few runs, I think around 56 runs, maybe in the last 7 wickets. And that I think sums up that one run out, one moment, and also plus the selection issues and all those kind of things that leading to such a situation for a team.
You made a very good point on that batting out Warner. But the thing with India is that under Virat Kohli, this team will fight. We knew that this team would anyway fight with their pacer, and they did. And they did very handsomely. At 111.7, they found Australia. You remember Ravichandran Ashwin finding the edge of Steve Smith into the hands of a slip fielder, Ajinkya Rahane. Just with Bumrah, just got the 2 openers. And Ravichandran Ashwin also ate up the middle order of the Australian side. But up to Shoptushi, up to you. At 7 for 111, it's the potential of thing that Australia will bundle us for 150 or India will get a lead of around 100. But then the disease, the disease, it's a disease of India. The lower order batting of the opponent side will come back to haunt you. And they had 80 runs for the last 3 wickets. Why did it went wrong for India? Do you think it's the bowling lineup that got a little bit overconfident, or you think India lost their kind of a same trauma of the lower order? Why do you think what went wrong in your understanding?
Yeah, so I remember India bowled very well initially in that innings, and Although Labuschagne, I remember him getting a lot of reprieve. I think he was dropped twice or thrice in the field. But at the end of the day, Australia was struggling at one point of time. I mean, it looked like India would get at least maybe a 40-50 run lead, but then Team Payne struck hard. He played a captain's innings. He scored some 74 runs. And I mean, what an innings that was. He just got those crucial runs at the end. I mean, this thing was gonna haunt India for long. I mean, it happened in England when Sam Curran used to get those crucial runs almost every day. That became a routine for him. It happened in New Zealand when Kyle Jamieson, Neil Wagner, even Trent Bolt got runs with the bat at the end of the order. It happened when in India toured down under also 2 years back. I remember that Adelaide test which India won there, the fast test, but still Josh Hazelwood was getting runs at the end. So I mean that tail runs was again gonna haunt India, and from a point where they could have gone a very good lead, they ended up getting only a slender 50-odd lead, and still at that point of time it looked like this can be India's game. I mean, India had to just survive the twilight session, and then the rest was all left to day three. But who knew day three was gonna put up
Well,
something else?
you mentioned that they can, but can they? Because the twilight station in Australia is the hardest time to play. And I have to remember
Yeah,
that you're playing Adelaide. If you get a good target for the opponent side, you have a brilliant spinner in your ranks, Ravichandran Ashwin, and then just came back as a night watchman. Pat Cummins, just but a short ball, and Bumrah nothing to do, gloved it straight in her hands. But then Pujar, it started in the next morning. Is it a morning? Is that date actually doesn't really belong to Indian cricket? They don't say it. They just dodge the date in the calendar. Do you think so? What happened that day, bro? Anything memory? Because I remember my memory. I'm gonna share it off. I remember, it was the school, college all were off because of the COVID. I remember, and it was winter, so I just made my coffee. I prepared my coffee
yeah,
for enjoying the whole India's batting. Then I thought, okay, let me just get some biscuits. I went to the kitchen, came back, India lost 4 wickets. Again, I thought, okay, let's just uncover the blanket. I opened the blanket, India all out. Something very is it like a ghost thing? The ghost came and Australia, whatever Australia did was absolutely perfect. Why it went wrong in your understanding? At one point, India's 2 for 15 and they lost 3 for none. What happened in the middle order?
yeah. I mean, so day to end was it looked like decent. India had just survived by losing 1 wicket. Prithvi Shaw was anyways looking to get out. I think Pat Cummins got him, not Mitchell Stark that time. But anyways, Jasprit Bumrah and Mayank survived, and it looked like maybe next day the batters could survive. And Virat Kohli, he was gonna play his last innings that series. So I was hoping to him to get some good runs, and then I remember it was starting at around some 9:30 in Indian time, and I woke up. I just opened the cricket buzz. I thought, is there some practice match also going on in this BGT series? Let me just check it again. Or am I too sleepy still? I put water twice on my eyes and saw now 36.9, and that nine actually put a lot more doubt that have they got so much confidence that they have declared we are nine down. Then I saw, oh no, now Shami is also injured. So I mean, misfortune hasn't come alone. They are 36.9 and they are down on one bowler, one of their best bowlers. So what on earth has happened? What on earth these guys were doing? I mean, everyone coming, nicking and gone. Josh Hazelwood 5 for 8, Pat Cummins 4 wickets. I mean, what's going on? Absolutely crazy since there at least nobody tried doing something. I remember just Virat tried scoring with his cover drives. I think he got one, and then that usual safe bank at Gully, Cameron Green. I mean, he was also making his debut that match. He plugged a good catch, and Virat gone, Pujara gone for a duck. So I mean, there was absolutely maybe I think someone like a Rishabh Pant might have been good at that situation because he usually likes to transfer the pressure back onto the opponent. I mean, he may get out on the first ball, but if he can get a couple of those shots going, I mean, he can transfer the pressure. But India just look too timid to transfer the pressure onto their opponents.
Well, it's up to Ritik now. We always touched on the Indian batting thing, and what India did wrong. But what is about the Australian side? You have to see that they lost 11. They lost 4 wickets for just 11 runs in lower order. At this point of time, you always know that batters just not throw their bat at everything, throw their bat at everything just to get any run. India didn't do that. Do you think it was up to the selection because they went to it Riddhiman Saha, as Saptachi mentioned? Do you think it was a blunder of the selection that came back to haunt India? What's your view on that? And any memory you want to share on that this crazy day?
Yeah, I think Saptashi has well covered it. I mean, we all thought that we were seeing something that is not true. And I mean, given the fact that it's a winter morning and you wake up to see such a horrific sight and you are shocked. I mean, what has happened? But yeah, jokes apart, on that day, uh, every bowler, and I will draw comparison to that brilliant spell that Stuart Broad bowled at Trent Bridge. I mean, so the players are coming, they are nicking, and the ball goes to the wicket keeper, and they take a catch, and the batsman goes to the pavilion. So something similar happening over after over after over. But yeah, I mean, but in that situation, again, the point you mentioned, the selection, definitely that was a matter of concern. Very poor batting depth. No one really, I mean, no one similar to the likes of Rishabh Pant, who can maybe turn the game away, show some positivity with his mindset, show some positivity with his good strokes, some out of the box thinking, or maybe someone who can just have a go. I mean, India were like they had almost, I mean, given, or they had submitted to the Australian bowling attack, and they had almost thought that, okay, so we somehow need to just go to the crease, and if we are lucky we will get saved, or else we will get out, and well, that's the end of the story, and then we will
Yeah.
get all out. I mean, yeah. And to add salt to the wound, Mohammad Shami eventually got injured. Yeah.
So that's the point. India, set a target of 90. It was never going to be enough. But when you consider 70 and opening partnership with the fourth innings, it was almost a matter of time before Australia did the owners, and they did it with 8 wickets in hand. Australia went 1-0 up in the series. Now, as you mentioned, the trauma started more. Mohammad Shami got injured and was ruled out for the rest of the series. There's no Ravindra Jadeja at that point of time. You don't know what is this fitness issue. You don't know who will be there in the middle order because Virat Kohli is returning back to home because of the paternity leave. Oh my goodness, you are going to a boxing the test match. The whole MCG will come back to you, haunt you. Can India make a comeback at 1-1? Or Australia will go 2-0 up in the series? We'll be back for the second episode in the Melbourne one. Thank you for watching this one.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.